Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Creel, Ambassador of Pinseeker and owner instructor of VC Golf, and today we're going to be talking about path. Path is super important. People, I think, dwell on it a little bit too much, but again, we have launch monitors, use those numbers, but I'm going to tell you today what to look for, okay? So if you have a launch monitor that can read club path, you're already ahead of the game. You just got to use it right. What I like to see is somebody's path be between -4 and +4. If you're +5 or -5, that's too much inside out or outside in. Basically, you're not being super efficient there. So let me tell you about what I mean. So if you come inside, say 7 degrees, I'll move this direction. So if we're swinging way from the inside, this direction, to get that club to go back to, or the ball to get back to its target, you have to time the club face closed. And it's the same with over the top. So what I mean now is the bigger the number face to path, so face to path is FTP, face to path, the bigger that number is, the more difference there is between face angle and club path. We want to get those closer together, okay? And basically when I'm teaching people, my tolerance level is +4, -4. I don't care if you swing over the top and you hit a fade. I don't care if you swing inside out and hit a draw. Again, we all have our natural shots, and I'm never going to take a golfer that swings inside out, and that's really what they're able to do. I'm not going to say, hey, we need to come inside out or inside out. If they're over the top, I'm going to let them be over the top, but we're just going to get them down to a more manageable number, around -2, -3. If they are approaching -4 consistently, we need to change it. So here's basically just a simple explanation why. The more, let's say if we approach the ball on 0, that's going to be a really compressed, because we can come in with a square club face and a square path, and that ball should go dead straight, and we're going to compress that ball. But now we're start coming to over the top, we're going to start brushing the back of the ball, and it's not as efficient. It's the difference between a punch and a slap. So if you feel like you don't ever compress the ball, I hear a lot of people say that, the reason is probably your path is way off, okay? And then your face to path is a bigger number, okay? So how we're going to fix that is this is just for you that know your path. If you don't know it, you need to get on a launch monitor to know it, because I'm not really big on guessing, okay? So get with an instructor or a buddy that has it and you can read it and know your path numbers, okay? And realize if you need to work on it, because your path may be in a tolerance level and you need to work on basically the club face rather than the path, which most people do need to focus on the club face more than the path. But if your path is out of whack, we got to fix that first. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I've got this noodle right here, and I'm going to move you guys to where you can see it. Let's see, how about that? And this is going to be for somebody that swings over the top. So I'm going to get this out here. So if I swing over the top on this one, I'm going to hit the noodle. You see that? Not very much forgiveness. So I'm going to have something here that's going to guide me to swing a little bit more shallow or more from the inside to straighten out the path. Again, I'm not trying to teach somebody that swings over the top an inside out swing. I'm just trying to break their habit and get them to come a little bit more shallow. Again, you can be shallow and still swing slightly over the top and hit your fade if you like a fade. Again, I don't want to change anybody's DNA, but I do want to make them a better golfer, okay? So this is kind of how this one would look. You can see I missed my noodle, gives you instant feedback. That means I did pretty good. If you have a launch monitor that you can see these kind of things, make sure you're watching the trends, the club path, the face angles, and see where you are. Use those numbers to your advantage. I recommend, once you make the change the tag on there. Let the system know, hey, this is before, this is after when I'm doing the training aids. Pull it up on a table level so you can review the data and see what your trends are, and make sure you're trending in the right direction. And also, if you get golf lessons, take this stuff to your pro, okay? So here's the other thing that you can do, is if you drop it too far to the inside, you do quite the opposite. So somebody that's coming in a little bit too shallow, See? So what I'm gonna do, let me get it set up a little bit more aggressive. And again, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want. Again, start out easy, start out with easier shots, slower shots, what I mean, not full shots, full swings, and go from there. I kind of like the way this looks. Boom. So now I'm going to hit. So my club path on the first one, when the stick was out here, or this one, let's say how about this. This one, my club path was right, so inside out, 0.2 degrees. It did its job. When it was out here, on the previous shot I did look, I was inside out around 3.8 to 4. So again, it was on the high level, but I already come a little bit inside, so I don't really struggle with this. I need it more on this side. So as you can see, the noodle gave me two different feels, changed my numbers two different ways, two different extremes, and again, so it works. It proves that it works. So make sure you set it up right. So typically I get an alignment rod. All it is an alignment rod in here. I use something from, it's called Y Golf. It's called an alignment disc. I really like it. Tour Striker makes something as well. I forget, it's called the Plane something. Not really sure the name. I use it, it's made out of wood. Sometimes it breaks when golfers hit it, so I went to something more sturdy. So this is called the alignment disc. I think it's awesome if you're using this indoors because you can kind of move it around. But basically I set it up around 30 inches behind me and about 10 to 12 inches away from the ball. So again, most of you guys come over the top. That's where I would set it, okay? Make sure it's further away from you. The closer it gets to the ball this way, the easier it is. Move it further away from you makes it harder, okay? So when you wear around between 30 and 34, 35 inches will be good. So again, this will really help you hone in your playing, but the key is I don't want you to guess, okay? Know your data. So make sure you have a launch monitor that reads club data, okay? So you know your path and you're not guessing, and we want to stay within these ranges. We want to be less than 4, and we want to be less than -4, okay? That's our tolerance levels. Unless you're trying to hit a certain shot, then you can go more. So if you're trying to hit a low hook, of course you can be way more inside because you want to be able to shut the face down more. But again, for your stock shot, we want to be between 4 and -4. So that's your tips for this video. So this video is done. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you click the link if there's another video available for you. And if not, man, just keep on playing and hitting these shots. PinSeeker's gathering data. Make sure if you have a launch monitor that requires stickers on the ball or the club face to get data, the more reliable feedback that we can give you. So we appreciate you guys again. Thank you for tuning in, and happy pin seeking.